So, originally I was going to make 3 videos over this challenge for the month of October, but I thought about doing that like day 4, but then I was like, if I just edit the footage I have now, because I had been recording everything because I was already putting it on my Instagram and TikTok and YouTube Shorts and, well, you can see that shit. That aside, and just finish the prompts early, then I could feasibly do 4 videos, 1 video each week during the month of October. Okay, so day 7 comes around. And I did none of that. But then I was like, no, it's chill. I'll just do 10 prompts per video, and it'll be 3 videos. Day 12 comes around. And then I'm like, I'll do 2 videos. First 15 in one video, and the last 16 in the next. And as long as I finish it at least like 31st or 30 or on the 1st, you know, it still counts. I still did the dang thing. Then my dog dies. That was so dramatic and unnecessary. Bitch, you had a week left before your 13th birthday. You couldn't have stuck around. You know how much gravestone space we could have saved if you would have stuck around? Yeah, so the video wasn't happening. But I still wanted to make it because I had drawn for 30 days in a row. And I feel like I should be able to milk that shit for content, like the fuck. So then I was like, what's a video I can make in retrospect that won't take a lot of effort to produce while letting me talk about my creative process? Look, my fucking dog died. Give me a break. I'm gonna be ranking them in number order because I'm not a sociopath and talking about my autistic process before placing them on the board according to my feelings. I'm putting the tier list in the description so you can place them however you would. You know, I'm interested to know if y'all see the same opinions of me. All the shorts with the prompts individually are on this channel as shorts, on my Instagram, and on my TikTok, if that still is around. Well, I mean, if you're outside of the US, you probably could see it. Did you know I'm sick and tired? We're starting off with the first one. Drops the ball on taking notes on any part of the process. This character, Kayla Bay, I'll probably like flash a bigger thing on the screen if I'm competent. Remember like back in the days of like Mary Sue Bad and let's make characters ironically. So I was knee deep in that because instead of Twilight, that's what I was doing. She's a swagcorn, which is a quote, alicorn with so much swag, it's a new species. Again, I was like 12. Give me a break. Why is she humanoid? Don't worry about it. And I was like, I'm gonna make her uber powerful, but like, I'm gonna actually give her a balanced backstory. And yeah, she's super powerful and stuff, but she's actually balanced. No, she's not. Yes, her backstory includes like crappy parents, and then like she has a cool scar. This was the start of showing off that I really wanted limited color palettes because I wanted to color this whole thing. That's why I did, one of the reasons why I did OC-Tober instead of Inktober, outside of the prompts being booty butt cheeks bad. I wanted to color. I haven't colored anything in months and I wanted to force myself to color. So I worked with more limited color palettes in order to allow me to do that and not go insane. I originally wanted to do like a more exciting pose, but that didn't end up panning out. I gave myself like a page to thumbnail sketch and then like the next page I had to draw on, and every single thumbnail looked like crap. I was just like, you know what? Whatever, we're doing this. In terms of ranking, which is like the most important part, I think I'll put it in That's Fun. Number 2, newest OC. At the time of recording, the newest OC with a current design, because the characters that are attached to him still don't have designs, is this one, Hobie Graves. The videos I posted on my Instagram, TikTok, and this channel here under shorts, it's the only one out of all 30 drawings without a voiceover, because I initially intended, for the sake of like my sanity, that I was only gonna have it every other time, but I decided against it mostly because like
the first video did so well, and then the second video did not do nearly as well, and it scared me. Nothing ever did as well as the first video, which is a little frustrating considering I have some bangers coming up here. I really like the way this drawing came out. Like, everything about it I love. This is Hobie Lewis Graves. Yes, it is a variant of Hobie Brown because I'm very normal about that character. And I wanted mine, and I wanted to have more creative control over him, so I made one. He has a symbiote, and they are an assassin. The symbiote was by the name of Riot. Yes, I know a Riot symbiote already. I do what I want. The fun thing about Riot, I picture him sounding like Benji Webb from Skindred, but specifically when he gets all low and gravelly, because I have a mild to severe Skindred addiction. I think it's perfectly justified. Initially, I had just like regular Hobie, and I shipped him with my spider persona because, again, I'm normal, right? But I had drawn this like variant of him, like being a werewolf, because I had made like several AUs, but it was very different every other time I drew him, and I didn't want this version to exist in one time, and also I was having trouble trying to find more information on Hobie Brown so I can like do some more fun character stuff for him. So in combination with really liking the design I had came up with, and like I wanted to add more, I just you know, stole his first name and some of his aesthetics and put them in this new character, with key differences being he's not a Spider-Man, he has a symbiote. He's old. I think he's like in his early 20s. I don't know how old Hobie is. I think he's like 19, 20. I don't know. He has a younger sister that he's looking after. There's a lot. There's a lot with him. And because he's mine, I can slut him out as much as I want. In terms of ranking, I'm thinking Atomic Slayeria. I absolutely love the way this came out. It almost made me want to go like gray with like all of them because I forgot how much I enjoyed hatching. I hadn't done it in such a long time, but I really like doing it. Why don't I do things I enjoy? On to the third one, Modern AU. Now, when I got this prompt lift off of twitter.com and I saw this prompt and I said, I know what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Diane in some low-rise jeans because that is what the people want. And my good people, citizens of Fantasy Australia, I'm going to give them what they need. And by golly, I delivered. I've been wanting to draw Diane in like modern clothing for so long. I just haven't because again, as previously stated, I'm just allergic to just doing things I like. If you're asking, well, King, why did you want to draw her like this? She's hot and I'm gay. I will be rendering this one in the future, you know, and if you want to see it right when it happens, follow my Instagram. If you want to see it a couple days later, follow my TikTok. Probably follow my Instagram. I don't know, TikTok's still gonna be around, especially since, that's besides the point. Let's not think about the geopolitical state of the world right now. Let's rank these drawings. Where is this gonna be at? I'm gonna go Atomic Slayeria. There's some things I like here more that can go up in the throne room, but this one right here, this one right there is certainly something. Day 4, Clothes Swap. This is the first one I hated. 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 The colors, truly only issue. The line art came out fine, the pose looks great. I think I drew them fine, but it's just the fact that there's no unity. I initially had this idea of the characters with like specific color schemes and having them like together, but I think what I should have done and what I do in later pieces is I just pick a few colors, and when I draw multiple characters together, I just meld those colors instead of attempting to use both. Maybe there's a way you can construe it as like, oh, the colors are uncomfortable because the characters are uncomfortable. It's clunky because of that. It would be a nice way to save my ass, but that's not the truth. I tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I dislike this one, you know. This is going on, they can't all be winners, because I only dislike one thing about it, comparative to one on there that I dislike everything about, but we'll get there when we get there. Day 5, Hair Up. This was the first appearance of Virgil, my lightly possessed cowboy. He's a damp hair. I chose him because I have a lot of characters with long hair, and I just hadn't drawn this one in a while. So I chose him because of, well, that. And I figured it'd be a fun character to just draw, like, simply, because I wouldn't have to put a lot of detail because he's just like, black hair and a button down. He's a cowboy. Hell yeah! Like, there ain't a lot going on, and I wanted something easy, fun, something I didn't have to think too hard, especially with the colors, because I want to give myself a break from that last one. And this is going, and that's fun. I like it. It's a good drawing. It's simple and clean. Shut up. Day 6, Neglected OC. This is truly funny because, like, when I had saw the prompt, I was like, there's a few characters I can do with that because I've been really invested in, like, Yaya and her whole thing, right? And I ran through, like, 7 characters, and then I had to remember this poor girl existed. Crazy work on my part. Sorry to Amber. And it's so cruel because this character has gone through so much, both story-wise and design-wise. Initially, they were for a comic concept I had in middle school called The Amber and the Light. It was supposed to, like, it was a fantasy world and all this crap, and her parents would have died in order to try to, like, stop this, like, magic-sucking demon from taking all the magic in the world, but she didn't know she had magic until it started watching her, too, because she's one of the very few beings with magic or something like that. Whole comic concept. Maybe I'll dig it up in the future. Who knows? But then I used them my first D&D game. I just added horns to them, and I really didn't do a good job with the fantasy setting part. But who cares? It was fun. But then I really liked the way she was in that one, and I decided to change more of it. She's no longer white. Improvements all around. I was like, I'll just make her a tiefling, and they got the idea. Make her half Genasi. She doesn't know she's Genasi. She thinks she's just a tiefling, but that's not the truth, and to do this whole dramatic thing with her parents, marrying her, whatever. She's gone through all those changes. I've done through all this work with this character just to, like, completely forget about her. Hell, I used her on my senior portfolio in high school. Again, completely out my mind. Poor girl. And she started the trend of my tiefling characters never staying tieflings. I really like the way this looks. I might spend some more time on something similar in the future. I think it's really fun. It's nice. No complaints. Day 7, Happy Memory. I started late on this prompt, and I still decided to do the big cool idea I had because I'm a masochist. These are Tia and Siffer's bandmates. Tia and Siffer are characters that I love a lot. Siffer's currently in a campaign, but in the past they were both in a band full of vampires. Siffer being a Dampier and struggling with his cravings was the first crowd of people that truly got him, and Tia was the first person to show him any sort of kindness with no strings attached. So, big happy memory. Room full of vampires. This is also the drawing board. I canonized the fact that Siffer had locked up his hair after leaving the band, and that Tia did shave her head when she was in the band. This is really fun. I feel like, the line art's a little bit inconsistent. There's some things that are, like, a little off in terms of, certain objects that are, like, should be shown that aren't. The anatomy probably needs some work. But I think it's a really fun piece for what it is, and it's really nice. And I might do a fully rendered version of this in the distant or near future, depending on how bored I get. It's fun, I like it. Picasso. Day 8, Formal Wear. I was going to draw Diane for this one because, again, I am a homosexual. This is Kaz's first appearance in the first appearance from me in months because I haven't drawn them in a while, and I've barely thought about them. Which sucks because I really like Kaz. I'm thinking of, like, doing a full redesign with them and their whole backstory or whatever. I used them for a Curse of Strahd campaign that ended up falling through. It was really fun while it lasted, though. And what sucked is, to them, right as the campaign ended. Ghetto! Ghetto! But again, it is what it is. Looking at it now, I really like the color palette for it. I don't know how much I like everything else about it. The hands are a little weird, but I like the concept because every single D&D campaign has to have, like, an event where everyone has to be in formal wear for one reason or another, and I just feel with Kaz being, like, someone who's completely lived off the wild, this would make them viscerally uncomfortable. But it's also hot. With that being said, I am gonna put this on the beginning of They Can't All Be Winners because, yeah, sure, I like it a little less than the ones up here. It's not nearly as bad as this. Day 9, Rockstar and Yaya's first appearance in the OC prompt list. This is the character I was speaking about that I have with Graves. They are my Spider-Verse OC. At this point, there's so much more because I have like so many like other universes involved. They're Yaya, my beloved. This one I showed in one of her many AUs because the brain rot is real. She has vocal powers and use like a sort of like pouching this to her sort of deal. Like I have a post on my Instagram with all the details of that, her main like Spider-Verse origin, you know. So I've always found it fun to put her in musical positions, and this is one of them. I originally was gonna do this with Yetta, her grandma, because in this universe, her grandma was like a rock star legend. Yetta the Yeti. She was known for her booming voice and her icy white hair because she went gray prematurely at like 20. Despite the fact that she was kind of like skinny and frail, she still had this very domineering presence, and she was very tall. But I decided against doing two. The poses weren't coming out right. I messed up the lace. I desperately need to find out how to draw lace better. If anyone has any suggestions for that, you know, do let me know outside of like just studying. But like lace is such like a tricky thing to try to render properly, especially in traditional art. Significantly easier digitally, but like I like drawing with my hands. That whole spiel aside, I think this is a really fun drawing. I like it. Picasso. Number 10, hero turned villain. This is another one I thought about using Dinasha for. Dinasha and Diane are the same. Long story, can't get into it. Spoilers for people of the campaign. I decided to use Virgil, and this is his second and last appearance in this fun little game of ours, because, you know, that's quite literally what he is. He's possessed by a demon. He originally was a sheriff, and a damn good one. He loved to serve his community, but after he was fatally shot and came back from the dead in order to, you know, keep an innocent citizen from also meeting an untimely end, now they have this Voyager demon attached to them and forcing them to do things they'd rather not do. I'd love to do a full video on Virgil in the future. He's such a fun character. As for this drawing, I feel like at a certain point it got really busy. I feel like I tried to smash too much detail in when I really could have just left it to be simple. You know, I didn't need to add any of the stars, you know, I could have added less highlights, but I think overall this is like a really fun drawing. I'll put it on all the way on the end. This next one, number 11, Alice in Wonderland. I hate it. This one has no redeeming quality. I cannot stand it. Everything that went wrong could go wrong, which sucks because this is Madge's first appearance in this little OC-Tober thing, and I love Madge. I haven't drawn Madge in ages because I haven't had like Soul Eater brain rot. She's my Soul Eater character. First video on this channel has her. It's very rushed on all levels. The colors are bad. The dress is bad. The pose is bad. Everything about it. I made a whole fucking 50 pounds of ass. With my biggest shame out of the way, we can get into day 12, the Genda Benda. I went very simple with the colors for the sake of my sanity. This is the first Sugar Twins appearance. The Sugar Twins are my Little Pony OCs. I have an entire universe with its own rules. You're mentally ill. And the Sugar Twins are part of said universe. I decided I have Gajinkas for all of my pony characters because I just enjoy drawing humanoids more. Personal preference. I like drawing ponies, don't get me wrong, but I have more fun with character design when I get to make like fun clothing decisions or whatever. And also it'd be easier for me to show a change in style with more humanoid features because, like, you know, they're horses. Ain't much of a difference, especially in My Little Pony. It's just like, oh, make the snout more rectangular, boom boy. Like, I guess it's boring. I'm gonna put this on. Yeah, that's fun. I went simpler with the colors because of the previous prompt. This brings us to day 13 as a child and the first appearance of Diane's kids. Because this drawing was so big, I used even less colors. This is the first time I've ever screwed up the line art on a drawing, and it made me want to play patty cake with a wet outlet in Minecraft. The characters shown are Ace, Andy, and Damier. Ace and Andy are the small little toddlers. They're twins, and Damier is the one in the middle reading. I really struggled with this drawing. 2 out of the 3 characters are Trey and Jenner. You know, because, like, at the time they didn't know, right? But I feel weird drawing them outside of, like, the way they choose to present themselves, but that's they didn't know. Maybe I'll revisit them in the future. I was trying to make them look, like, as ambiguous as possible, which is a lot easier with babies, a little bit harder with adolescents, like Damier. Overall, I think it's a fun drawing. I'll probably revisit it in the future, because it is a fun concept. You know, I definitely could have done better with the clothing, especially. I think this goes on the very end of that's fun, a little bit better than the original one. Day 14, pajamas, and Pongo's first and only appearance. I know! I give you this little bird and I say no more. But I simply didn't have any more ideas for Pongo. Pongo is the only Aarakocra. They're a little cockatiel, a clown that just likes to make people happy. I haven't played them yet, and I keep bouncing between Drunken Master Monk and Bard. Jack of all trades type. I'll probably find more enjoyment in Bard for this character specifically, but enough about that. Let's talk about the drawing itself. This one is so fun and simple. The colors came together real nice, didn't have to think too hard about it. You know, the little mug, wake me up before you Coco, it's adorable. Her little nightcap. Pongo is one of my very few morning people OCs. She wakes up at like the ass crack of dawn just because she likes to watch the sunset because she's simply that girl. Honestly, you know, when it comes down to ranking, I'm gonna have to give it an Atomic Slayeria. Day 15. Sad memory. I had a lot of characters to choose from, ironically. Well, not very ironically, it's like an artist stereotype to like absolutely torture your OCs. Listen, it adds flavor. But I chose Cipher in the moment he turned because I've always had such like a defined visual of the terrible moment in his life. And, you know, it kind of gave me the chance to at least partially put it on the page. Outside of the writing that I have done for him. The name of the person who turned him and also his ex-boyfriend, Jonathan Harker. And I named him after the one in Dracula because when I was reading through his point of view in class in my senior year, I couldn't stand the guy. He was so annoying and closeted. He was so annoying and closeted. You know what? Stop the music. Stop the music. Side tangent. Jonathan Harker is a closeted homosexual. He always has something negative to say about every woman that isn't his wife, and even when he's describing his current wife or fiance, whatever they are, it's always like, oh, she's just a good woman. No specifics, just on an objective level, she's a good woman. But when Dracula comes onto the page, this man goes into heavy detail about how devilishly handsome he is, the way his mustache curled, the way his eyes looked at him. And I didn't do the words on this one because I didn't do the words on Happy Memory, even though I forgot to do the words on Happy Memory, but I thought it would just be a good combination piece. I think this piece goes in Atomic Slayeria. It's not good enough to hit Throne Room just yet, but it definitely eats.
Before this video goes any further, we need a word from our sponsor. Me!
Hey, you, do you like art? Trick question. I know you do. You have to go outside and see things.
Well, like most of you, go outside and see things. Do you like my art? Autism be damned, that
You're
box
almost
can draw.
cracked.
Oh my god. Wow! Now what if I told you, yes, you, that you could have me draw anything you want? Need a reference for your D&D character? I can do that. And a stylized portrait of you or your loved ones? I can do that. The hedgehog working at an Aldi? I can do that. I've drawn a book cover. I've done work for a restaurant. I can truly do it all. You've got a group chat and want cute matching profile pictures? I can do those too. It's truly your world and I'm just a fox. Well, the hell are you waiting for? A kiss on the cheek?
Restrictions include meta heavy slash, extreme gore. I don't have a lot of experience with those, and I don't feel comfortable being paid for that. Pro ship stuff just, no.
J16, Magical Girl. This is Tia's third and final appearance in this prompt list, and this broke the rule of limited color palettes because I chose to fully render a bear because I thought it would be funny. And I was correct. I loved this one. It's one of my favorite drawings I ever did because of the bear, and it got like the least amount of views on all of my accounts. And I think it's because like the Tia's silhouette. I guess they just couldn't handle Tia's raw power. But this goes in the throne room. No debate. I love this drawing. It's so fun. Day 17 youngest OCs. These are my youngest OCs based on the previous notion of these are my youngest OCs with designs that already exist, because I decided at the beginning of this I was not going to be making any new characters for the sake of my sanity, and the whole point of this challenge was to show my current characters. So these are my youngest OCs with designs. I share these characters with my partner. These are Gabby and Gracie. They're Greer's kids. They are menaces to society, and I absolutely love them. Greer is that old man that I like to objectify sometimes. And one fun thing I've noted, like the other OCs that I share custody with, these are the pony OCs. These are Griffins. I'm putting it fun. It's simple, cute, and fun.
Day 18, and another absolute banger. Fave OC ship. It should shock absolutely no one here from the way I talk about them. Yaya and Hobie have been ruining my life for months. I've had this visualized for a very long time because, again, I love putting them in situations. Originally, I visualized it with bare cheeks, but I decided not. I put underwear on her. I'm sorry to America, because I know everyone wanted Yaya cheeks. I honestly would love to fully render this piece at some point, but I also love like the simplicity of like just like the one color. This is no debate going in the throne room. This is an absolute banger. Day 19, hero turned villain. This is Madge's second and final appearance, and for Madge's second appearance, I vowed to do her better than this thing. So what I did was, I originally planned on having the pose be a little bit more complex, but I decided against it and went for this more simple piece, showing like the turning point where she's caught by the WMA, and this is, I'm picturing this is her being offered the deal in order to, do what she does now, which is,
slay
for the name of the DWMA. I feel like I definitely did her justice with this one, and I think after these last few ones, it proved to me that like less is more with colors. I didn't need to come up with a whole color palette on my own. 1, 2, or 3 was going to do more than the job. I forgot to do the whole thing, the whole point. This goes into the Comic Slay area. I like this a little bit more than Pongo and Lucy's, but it's so striking. Also, forgot to mention, I think this also started my liking of like filling in all the white space. I think this might carry on to my regular pieces. I just really like completely filling in the page with color. I used to do it all the time, but I stopped at some point, probably because of laziness, but I think I might continue. Speaking of using the whole paper, day 20, haircut. This is Kaz's second and final appearance. I believe this was a Sunday. I was doing 2 on the same day because the next day I had Dungeons and Dragons and I wasn't going to be able to spend as much time on it that day because, I got to focus on the D&D. This was such a fun and goofy drawing, and I love his little face. I went an alternative route with this. Instead of, just cutting my character's hair, I decided to canonize a fun fact about Kaz. They used to have a braid. In their previous design, they gave them a big braid, but I stopped drawing them with that braid initially just because I kept forgetting about it, and my rule of thumb generally is if I keep forgetting a character detail in a drawing, I probably didn't need that detail in the first place. And what I decided to happen canonically is that they got their hair stuck in a branch or a trap or something, and they just had to cut it off. I'm gonna put this on that's fun, because it is really, really fun. Day 21, as an adult, is the second and final appearance of Diane's twins. I chose them because I did them in the as a child prompt and just felt appropriate to just draw them again. I did not draw Damier because canonically, I already have a design for him as an adult. He is an adult in campaign right now, so it just felt redundant to draw him again. I was torn between keeping them scrawny or giving them muscles because I know what their father looks like and I know what their mother looks like, and it'd be funny if they ended up scrawny, but it also just would also make sense if they, somewhere down the middle. I really liked the way this came out. It was really fun and simple. I really like how I only really had to design one of their clothes because I decided to give Andy his mother's hair for the sake of my sanity. I think this goes into Tomic's area. It was gonna go a little bit before Lucy. I really like the way this came out, and it's really fun and clean. Day 22, hair down. This is Mimi's first appearance. She's one of my few characters that don't already have her hair down by default. So, I decided to use her, especially since I haven't drawn her in a while, period, and I hadn't drawn her yet for this prompt list. She's Yaya's best friend, and she's currently dating my friend Mochi's OC Hector. They're dating, they're absolutely in love. They're sickeningly in love with each other. I feel like the line art could have been more clear on this. It's a really fun drawing. It's cute as it is, but I feel like it's not my best work. It was definitely rushed. But I do like this. It's fun. This is day 23 and 24, fantasy and injury. Day 23 was injury, and day 24
fantasy.
I'm remembering. Day 23 was actually the day that my dog died, so I didn't draw, and I decided to power through and just do day 24. I figured it'd be easiest to just combine the two instead of forcing myself to just draw two at the same time. Especially since I barely had an idea for injury in general. Blessing in disguise, I get not really. Not really. This is Hector's first and final appearance in the prompts, mostly because Hector isn't my Blorbino. This is Mimi's second and final appearance. I decided in the context of fantasy, I'd probably just use fantasy world I'm most familiar with, which is just Dungeons and Dragons. Then I made rough sketches of what I think they'd look like in a fantasy setting. I made Hector a Goliath fighter. By I mean Mochi did. And I decided to make Mimi an ASMR artificer, because fun fact about Mimi, she's a designer, she likes to make things. I have mixed feelings about this drawing. I'm gonna put this at the high end of they can't all be winners, because I don't really like how messy it is a little bit to me. Maybe I'm just my own harshest critic, but it's somewhere between that's fun and they all can't be winners. Day 25 was another one I had an idea for day 1. This shows my character Danasha and my other character Vladik. This is Diane's third appearance in this series, and Vladik's first appearance, any of my drawings, ever. I have to be vague about what event this shows, because at least I think my friends will watch my video, but, this shows a very key event in both her and his story. I had a very strong visual for this, which is why I think I don't like it as much as I think I should. I think I should have used a darker purple. Again, I think this is another one for can't all be winners. I did 26 and 27 on the same day. I started day 26 on day 26, but I had to finish it the next day because I went outside. Okay, I went outside for the first time in ages, alright? Give me a break. With that being said, day 26 for the pet. This is Diane's fourth appearance. And I despite the fact that I'd drawn her several times previously, I felt it was important to draw her with this one because she is literally known for her pets. This is Phoebe. She's not exactly a pet. She's a rock. So, D&D, big ass bird. And I drew their first meeting. I've always been considering doing a full comic for this thing because of how fun it'd be and the little details I can hide as little Easter eggs for my friends to find. And I think I will do it at some point. I think I need to do more bird studies, which is ironic because I have a parakeet. But I need to do more big bird studies. It's a really fun drawing. I think this is fun. Day 27, gotcha card. This is the first time I've drawn Anastasia in years. First time, obviously, I drew her in the prompt list. The prompt confused me initially because, gotchas are not my thing at all. But I really like the card format, and I might do this more because I had a lot of fun with it. But I'll probably, do, a full design for the card first and probably redo Anarith first. Anastasia and Anarith are the same person. Anastasia's her stage name, is her government name, because it sounds more demonic. As mentioned, I did this the same night as the previous, but despite that fact, I think it came out, it's one of my favorite drawings. I think I like this even a little bit more than the Diane drawing. Day 28, Fave OC design. I decided to do this fun little podium idea because I was having a hard time choosing, and I thought the best way to show that would be this podium. And also, I can have this awesome interaction where Dee looks like she's gonna slaughter Duke. The reason we do go on over Danasha was because it was Fave OC design, not Fave OC at total. Because Fave OC obviously is Danasha, because she's popped up 5 times, and this isn't even her final appearance. Diane has an entire Google document to herself. It's not a competition. She is the favorite. It goes Diane, probably Yaya by this point, and then Tia. Duke won in terms of designs because Duke is the easiest to draw. Whenever I want to draw Duke, I can draw Duke. It's like a sixth sense. It's instinctual. In stark contrast, sometimes I struggle to draw Diane, and sometimes I struggle to draw Tia, despite the fact that I really enjoy both of their designs. Tia is just happy to be there at all, because that's just the kind of person she is. I think I'm gonna put this on the Atomic Slayer area, just because it's really funny and it made me laugh. Duke's expression kills me, so does Diane's expression. I'm gonna fully render that expression and use it as a profile picture. Day 29, using powers. This is Mona Aki's first and only appearance, and first time I've drawn her in eons. Mona is Madge's mom. She is a bee witch, one of my Solar OCs, and I'm showing her using her drone ability. I was initially going to use Bumble in her Discord and Disorder, which is another thing exclusive to my universe.
So you're mentally ill?
Maybe I'll explain that in a future video if that's something I feel like doing. But I decided to go with my other bee-based OC. I picture her being the main villain in this hypothetical universe I've made in Soul Eater. Her main thing is that instead of feeding off of chaos like most other witches, her main goal is just total and utter domination. That's why she's a capitalist. She has figureheads on a lot of very prominent businesses. Her drone spell allows her to fully take control of other people and supercharge them with power. She uses that to not only for protection but also for the sake of her main goals of gaining world domination. What other way to dominate the competition outside of actively suppressing their free will? And fun fact, but actually really horrific fact, everyone within the hive mind can hear each other and their pleas for freedom. There are some people who have been stuck in the hive mind for years. Madge has gone in and out because she used to use it as a sick punishment. Ain't that silly? Ain't that fun? I'm gonna put this on That's Fun. It's really simple and nice. I could have, if I left out the fist, it would look better, but it's supposed to look like a fighting position. But all in all, pretty damn good. Day 30. Zombies! It's the second and final Sugar Twins appearance. It's another My Little Pony infection because everybody seems to love those. I just thought it would be fun to draw them again, but in their pony forms, but with this situation. I chose to have both the sun and the moon up because I wanted to imply that whatever is going on in Equestria either has the princesses so busy that they cannot attend to their normal duties, or that they might not even be there at all. But Diamond and Bumble are shooting the shits. Bumble normally has very long bubble braids, but she got them caught on something once during the apocalypse and decided to just shave the rest off. And normally Diamond straightens her hair into a nice bob, but she doesn't have the time to do that because of the apocalypse. I think this one's an Atomic Slayer. The composition on this is awesome, and it's really fun. Last and not least, we have Terror's Night. We actually had Terror's Night, or our Halloween, like a couple of months prior because of just how the cookie crumbled on dates. So I already had costumes for everybody in the drawing. It made my life so much easier. What I drew was one of the key events that occurred on Terror's Night. See, my character, Dinasha, I hadn't yet to show this straight because I hadn't had a chance to, because she's also like the oldest in the group, so she has to do momager half the time, right? I finally got to show off her more mischievous side, and this was great. What I had her do was go around the carnival and use her telepathy to convince random people that they had a worm in their brain and they had to do increasingly ridiculous tasks in order to get it out of their body and into someone else's. She had someone steal the food out of another character's mouth and then proceed to hit the stankiest leg of all time in front of them. That character being one of our player character's boyfriends, that Minotaur. That was very funny. And several other jukes and japes like that. Having a hell of a time. I also canonized the stinky leg. She had ended off the night, at least from the group's perspective. It was the last one I played out I just went and had her do it in the background until like it was my turn to do something else. And this was insisted by the player, by the way. I didn't decide to do this. They wanted this to happen for whatever reason. She had implied something embarrassing of like Cherry's childhood. Like her mom had told her that if she ever farted that it would do the destruction of the universe or whatever. She popped into Cherry's boyfriend's mind and told him to repeat the words, "Your mom was right, hold that shit in." Which let Cherry know that, like, obviously it was Diane because whatever. So Cherry storms over and is like, Diane's laughing her ass off and pretending that she don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Diane's a witch, Cherry's a nurse, and Fengor is a cowboy. This goes in the throne room immediately. It's such a fun drawing. I thoroughly enjoyed the process, and I finished it on Halloween night. And thus concludes all of this.
Wow, wasn't that fun? Let's talk about what I learned. Posting every day does nothing. It does nothing for your growth. I posted every single day for once a month, and I saw, like, I think I might have gained 2 followers. Shout out to y'all. And they're on TikTok, so it's irrelevant. TikTok doesn't like it when I specifically draw hot people. Everyone else can do what they want. I'm just not allowed to do it. I love drawing Diane, but I already knew that. I need to take most of my characters out of retirement because I drew so many repeats and I still, like, the majority of my characters did not appear in this challenge. I hate posting every day. Hate it. And the copyright on YouTube Shorts is so stupid. What do you mean I get... The sound is available. Why am I getting copyright claimed for a sound that is available on your application? What the... I also learned that my computer can only take so much raw editing power. Close to the end of this, and this is a little behind the scene here, a little peek behind the curtain. I'm currently filming this while I'm waiting for a chunk of the video to export so that I can finish the rest of it, because it's gotten so laggy that I can't make quick, snappy edits anymore, and that's making my balls itch.
Okay, so editing king here. I didn't realize that the real reason why my computer was chugging was because I was basically forcing it to overheat itself and not allowing it to cool off because I had it on silent mode for years, and it hadn't been a problem, right? Because I had my computer on my desk. I don't have a desk. I've been using it on my bed. So it was cooking itself alive and forcing itself to chug so it wouldn't die. You know, because I'm an idiot. Why my computer didn't just override my idiot decision, I don't know, but it's completely fixed and I can do what I want now. I'm still not making any videos that are bigger than this in the near future, though. That's for damn sure.
Also, side note, dear CapCut, just make it so I can't use your pro features. Don't let me accidentally click on it and then have to friggin' dig through your fuck-ass editing software. Oh, my computer is running at 4 frames a second. It's running worse than the average slideshow on Windows XP. I can't, I'm sick, I'm tired. I had to go on a wild diamond goose chase to find those little features that I didn't even use properly. There was one tracking feature that I didn't even involve. Nothing was tracked. Nothing was tracked. And I just couldn't find it. And that's that. Comment down below which of the characters you've seen in this video want a full video on, because I plan on doing a video on every single one of them. Because if they appeared on here, I at least like them at least enough to mention them. Tell me what your favorite drawing was. Like it if you like it. Dislike it if you dislike it. I mean, no one else will be able to see it unless you have that add-on. I don't have the add-on because I'm stupid and I don't know how to download things. And I'm scared I'm gonna get a virus on my computer because I'm a maroon. And I'm not gonna risk it. So, if you want the satisfaction, knowing that you showed your true feelings, go ahead and use those buttons how you feel. And remember, I'm king, And you're not. I'll see you when I see you.